Hello, I'm Brad Haydank, and welcome to Sports Page. In this program, we talk with the athletes, coaches, and staff who work to make University of Central Missouri Athletics one of the premier college sports programs in the MIAA and Division II as a whole. This is Sports Page. Our first guest today is Jennies basketball head coach Dave Slifer, in his 21st season as head coach for the Gens. Coach Slifer is the winningest active head coach in Division II with a number of 805 total career victories in his 35 years of head coaching entering this season. To his name, Slifer also adds 12 NCAA postseason berths, along with a national championship in the 2017-2018 season. Last season, the Gens sported a 21-8 record, going 15-7 in the MIAA. So with that, we welcome Jennies head coach Dave Slifer to Sports Page. So to start, Coach Slifer, I want to go back to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where you took that national championship back in 2018. What was going well that season to end up on top?
What a fantastic season. We had a team that was really together, and they were very, very talented. And so we didn't foul much. We didn't turn it over much. We just were able to put the ball in the hole and get stops defensively.
And then in that national championship game, Ashland started going 7 of 7 from the field, and you trailed by 10. Then you stormed back with a big second quarter, and then you didn't look back after that. So how big is that kind of grit, that kind of tenacity in a team every season to not quit?
Well, I'll tell you what, that Ashland team had won 73 straight games. And they'd won the national championship the year before. They were like 33-0 or something, and they were rolling. They'd averaged 100.5 points a game, so that's a lot of points. So the first 6 possessions, we played man-to-man, and they were 6 for 6. So I decided to go zone, and their point guard, who doesn't score a whole lot, makes a step-back 3. So all of a sudden it's 16-7, and I'm going, my goodness, this possibly could get embarrassing because this thing's on TV. Surely we can get a stop sometime. And all of a sudden, that basket got about this big, and Ashland was a pressing, running team. And whenever you don't make buckets, you don't get to press. And we had a point guard who ended up, Paige Redmond, ended up getting the MVP of the Elite Eight, and she was Player of the Year in the conference, and she dominated along with a lot of other players. I think the most exciting run we had was they finally cut it once to about 3 or 4, and Meg Skaggs made 11 straight points, and we ended up winning the game 66-52, which means Ashland averaged 99 points a game for the year, and we held them 40-some points under their average.
Well, that's pretty impressive. And as your time as a coach, 805 wins going into this season, which is the top in Division II. How do you find so much success as a head coach?
Oh, we've got a great staff, and we've been able to recruit great student athletes, and so we're able to, Central Missouri is a great place to recruit to. We make it a fun environment. Our kids have a great college experience, and that's how we do things. Is we want these 4 years to be the greatest years of your life, and for a lot of our kids, it's been that.
And I want to ask you about the transfer portal, because that's been a big thing in college basketball and college sports as a whole recently. On your squad this season, 7 of your 11 players are transfers, ranging from Omaha to Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois, to even Drury, just 2 hours south of here. So how has the transfer portal, in your view as a head coach, changed the game a little bit?
Well, the portal taketh and the portal giveth. We lost some good players to the portal. They had an opportunity to play their last year, and good players, good kids, and that's just our new reality. Our new reality is we've got to find players every year, and I've kind of gone with the approach of every year's different. So, guys, this is a one-year deal. Basically, let's enjoy it. Let's get as many dubs as we can get. Let's get championships, and we'll talk about it next spring. And it's the only way we figure out how to do it, because most coaches do not enjoy the portal, and you have to embrace it. So that's what we've tried to do.
And you did talk about the other side of it. Olivia Nelson, who you had last year, went to Idaho. Brooke Littrell went to Creighton. So two of your starters went D1, which I'm sure you're proud of them for going D1.
Absolutely.
But how do you deal with losing two of your starting five?
We go to the portal and we get some reshuffs, and so that helps soften the blow some. And I think this is what's going to happen every year now. And so we've got to figure out, just embrace it. A lot of older coaches have gotten out of the game because they don't enjoy it. And you know what? I need to work. I still enjoy coaching every day, and yesterday was not a great day for Jenny basketball, but that happens sometimes. You just accept it, you move on, you figure out ways to win. I think we'll suit up 8 or 9 players tomorrow due to some injuries and stuff, and who cares? You find ways to win with those 8 or 9.
And then talking about finding ways to win, last season, looking at the record, you went 21-8 overall, 15-7 in the MIAA. And I know you don't play many out-of-conference games. What does that MIAA record kind of show on how strong the conference is?
Well, we were picked number 1, so 21-8 on the surface doesn't sound too bad, but it was not a great year for us, and it was a very frustrating year. We felt like we should have been better. We weren't. And so that's you just have to learn from the mistakes you made the year before. Not every year, I guess, can be a 2018 where you win an Natty championship, and we've got to make sure that we give our kids a chance to win every night out. Right now we're 4-2. We've got a lot of new pieces, and we've had some issues. Concordia whipped us at home. We get to play quite a few non-conference games this year because we're only playing 19 conference games. And so the non-cons are super important for the rest of the year. So we're excited about our group. We know that our basketball is ahead of us, and the MIAA is going to be very good. It is the best league in the country for women's basketball.
So we've talked a little bit about the transfer portal. You said your teams are like year by year. So how do you deal with scheme and like game planning? Do you kind of mold it around your team, or do you kind of mold the team around your coaching style?
Both. We try to take advantage of the skill sets of our kids in our program, and we're always going to be a motion-based team. And what I mean by that is we have a few set plays, but not a whole lot. What we like to do is let our kids play, and in practice we teach them how we want to play, and hopefully that carries over to the game, and we're able to put some points on the board.
And you've talked about your record this season. You've started over 500. How good of a start, or how do you view that start for this season?
Well, we start off in St. Joe. We were 1-1, and we beat Ferris State, who was 15th ranked in the country. Our first game we got beat by Southern Naz, and we had a chance to win it. And sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. We came back home, and Concordia surprised us. We'd played 3 games. We were 2-1, and Concordia, we just had a total defensive meltdown, and then that affected our offense. So we had some learning to do after that game. It was a frustrating loss because we weren't even close. It was a 20-point game, and to be honest, I tell everybody I talk to, don't let the score deceive you. It was worse than that. And we knew we were going to be going on the road to some regional opponents, and it's never easy to play on the road. And I'm super proud of our kids for going up to Moorhead and getting the W. Then going to Augustana, we went back to Sioux Falls. So Sioux Falls is a fun place with a lot of great memories for me. I think during that run, my favorite TV clip was we kind of did the saying, "We love Sioux Falls, we love Sioux Falls," and they kept playing that on the TV stations at that time.
So as we're going through this season, we're coming up to the Thanksgiving break, Christmas break. Is that kind of a different vibe? Because you all keep playing, so when the students are gone, different people are gone. Is it kind of a different vibe to play at home?
It is different, and it just, fortunately, this year we've got a trip to Hawaii during Thanksgiving, so we're definitely looking forward to that. We feel like that, when you recruit, you want to tell kids, hey, we go on trips, we go on great trips. It's a great place to go to school. We've got a great education here, and you're going to have an experience that you probably won't get anywhere else.
And talking about those games of Hawaii and those experiences, how important is that kind of for team bonding, team building to go to those places?
It's ideal because you get to not only play basketball, but you get to go to the beach, you get to go see what other parts of the country look like. 21 years ago when I came here, they already had a Hawaii trip planned, and so we got to take that team the first year that we coached, and it was an absolute blast. We had so much fun, and so now, 20 years later, we're rolling back there.
One thing I want to ask you that's maybe a little different about women's basketball is maybe male practice players that you can have along in practices. How does that kind of work out with that vibe?
It's kind of funny because I just had a conversation with one of the men's assistants and said, "How long you guys been doing that?" And I said, 35 years. Ever since I was at Mount Mercy College, we always had male practice players. And it's fun because it gives our program, a little bit more breadth. Because we get to include some guys that most of them were former high school stars, and bottom line is they're quick kids that absolutely enjoy coming to practice and competing against our kids.
And when you look out during a game and you look at the bench, because that's the part that's not really talked about a whole lot, how important is it to see those players on the bench in the game and supporting the other players?
Well, it's always important because you have to have a program where kids can, especially with the portal, that they can see the writing on the wall and say, hey, I can get a chance here, I can play here. And then you got to have some kids on the bench that probably won't play that much but are still enjoying a great experience.
So someone who's been with UCM Athletics a long time that recently retired is Bob Jackson. He was on the PA system for a long time during Jenny's basketball games. He was on our first episode here on Sports Page. He told me one of the things he's most excited for is to sit behind the bench and kind of let you hear it during the Jenny's basketball games. So I wanted to ask you, get your point of view. How do you feel about that?
We're going to miss, we already miss Bob Jackson. He is what a UCM guy, and I think he's got to start at KFEQ radio here in town. So Bob has been a great person to have in our program, and hopefully Bob, I'm going to hold him to that. I can't wait to see him at the game and get behind our bench. We did get to start the season off this year with a kids game. And so we had 1,500 kids from Warrensburg School District, and what a great atmosphere. A lot of fun.
Well, Coach Slifer, congratulations on all of your success and best of luck as you continue this current season. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to meet Jenny's basketball player, Reese Schaaf. We return right after this. Welcome back to Sports Page. In this next segment, we'll be joined by Jenny's basketball player, Reese Schaaf. Reese is a junior transfer from Drury University. Originally from El Dorado Springs, Missouri, Reese has picked up many accolades over the years. These include the Missouri Class III Player of the Year her senior year, which included a state championship, then the Midwest Region Player of the Year by the D2CCA and GLVC Player of the Year, both last season at Drury, and then the GLVC Freshman of the Year 2 seasons ago. This is Reese Schaaf right here on Sports Page. So Reese, I want to start with your decision to transfer from Drury to UCM. What maybe went into that decision?
Yeah, I initially didn't think that I would transfer. I never had that plan, but and I kind of did it a little late in June. But I thought I just needed something different, something new, so I decided to enter my name.
And then why did you end up choosing to go to UCM?
Well, UCM just has an awesome athletic program, especially basketball. And it did help that I had a former teammate, Allie Clevenger, so I talked to her right after I put my name in, and she kind of, asked a few questions and then kind of helped me with the process as well.
And I was going to ask you about Allie Clevenger. She was teammates with you at Drury in the 2022-2023 season. So what's it like to be reunited with Allie here at UCM?
It's a lot of fun. I love Allie. We had a great connection my freshman year. She was there to help me out through a lot of things. So just to be able to be on the floor with her again and also roommates, it's really awesome, special.
And then talking about that connection, how do you go into a locker room with a lot of faces you don't know? I know you know Allie, but then gel with all of those other players, the other 9 that are on the squad.
Yeah, it's definitely something different, something new that I've obviously had to do again freshman year. But it was really easy. All the girls were super welcoming, so it was really nice to just be them welcome me in and be on the floor together with them. So it was pretty easy transition.
And you've had many coaches over the year from AAU, high school, Drury, now UCM. How do you maybe deal with those different coaching styles, the different expectations from different coaches?
Well, I just, try to take it in, listen to what I get, all different information from all new coaches. So just really listening to them and just taking it in.
Yeah, and then looking at your success as a player, every year, at least since your senior year in high school, you've received an accolade. How do you kind of keep up that sort of success at such a high level?
I'm really grateful for all those things, but I know, I'm not finished. I've got a lot more I can do, got a lot more growth in me, so I just, stay strong and be mentally strong and just keep going.
Can you talk me through maybe some of the unseen? What does it take to become a player at such a high level?
Just dedication and hard work, off the court, just putting in time and getting shots up and doing the little things that really help on the court or wherever.
And talking about that dedication and hard work, could you maybe take me through a typical day on what you're up to keep up this success?
It starts from preseason we are in the weight room and stuff like that. So it starts there in preseason. Getting strong, getting mentally prepared for a long season ahead of us. So just starting from the beginning, getting ready and lifting weights, getting into the gym, shots up, and then coming into practice and working just as hard there.
And lifting, getting in the gym, practice, those things, while they're sometimes fun, they're not always easy. So there has to be some sort of motivation for you. What is that motivation?
I think just knowing basketball is such a long season and it takes a lot of time and effort, just keeping your head above water and just really it's okay, you're gonna have bad days, it's gonna be fine, but at the end of the day it's gonna be rewarding, you're gonna do hard things and it is rewarding at the end.
And something that helps that motivation is goals. So can you maybe talk me through some of those goals you may have for yourself this season?
Yeah, for myself this season, coming into the MIAA conference, it's a tough conference. So obviously I have a big goal to still do good, work just as hard into this conference. And then kind of step out my game on the perimeter a little bit. I'm down at the post a lot, so just grow on the perimeter just a little bit. And yeah, I would say that.
Yeah. Well, I want to take you back for a second to maybe the first day you picked up a basketball. What maybe originally made you fall in love with the sport?
So I have two older sisters that also play basketball. They played college basketball. And it was really just going to their practices, going to their AAU games, and stuff like that. So that's where it really started, was watching them and being around them all the time.
And I know the season's young this season, but currently you're averaging a double-double in points and rebounds are those two stats. How do you keep up that sort of success on a game-to-game basis?
I know a really great asset of mine is grabbing rebounds, so just really keep focus on, getting rebounds for the team and stuff. That's always a main focus of mine during games. Yes, I'm going to score, it's going to come, but usually I know how to go grab rebounds the most, so that's what I really focus on.
And you can't do any of this yourself. When you look at your teammates, your coaches, even your family, how much support has it taken to get to this point?
A lot of support. I'm very thankful for my family. They're always very supportive of me, very loving, so I couldn't do it without them, and then just having a great coaching staff and great teammates to also help is something that's really needed.
And you've talked about this season how one of your goals, the tougher MIAA conference, excelling in that. You started the first two games of the season against two ranked opponents, number 22 South Nazarene at the time, then number 15 Ferris State. South Nazarene was a heartbreaking loss, 3-point loss, but then you beat Ferris State by, a decent margin. So how encouraging is a win like that and a good start to the season like you had?
Yeah, it's really good to see kind of where we stand at the beginning of, or the first two games. We know we have a lot of growth, but it is really exciting to see us come off the bat and work really hard those two games. So just know that we have a lot of growth to do and that we're going to get there.
I asked Coach Schleifer about this a little bit earlier, but I want to get your opinion as a player, because your squad's about to head to the Hoops in Hawaii Classic in Honolulu, which begins on the 29th of November. How exciting is that for you as a player and the team?
I'm super excited. I've never been to Hawaii before, so it'll be super fun. But it gives us a great opportunity to go play in Hawaii, play against some good teams, and also, like what Coach said, is we'll be at the beach, so it'll be a great time to have fun.
And something else Coach Schleifer had mentioned in the interview was that there was recently a school day that you had at the Jerry M. Hughes Athletic Center where a lot of students came out and supported. How much fun was that to have so many kids in the crowd there?
It was really fun. It was a great atmosphere. It gets us going for sure. We had a fun one that day. But yeah, the kids just screaming all the time. It's a lot of good energy, and it's really fun to be out there.
And there's definitely a lot of kids out there in the crowd that maybe look up to you as a Division II basketball player. So if one of those kids were here right now, what would be your message to them, maybe like motivation to keep them going to try to reach this level?
Yeah, I would just say that, I mean, let's see. I would say that, I mean, good things do take time and hard work. So just putting in that effort and keep going, you're going to get rewarded at the end.
And talking about that hard work, it is hard to be a student athlete because you have to manage the athletics and the academics. How do you manage both?
I really just prioritize organization and knowing that I do have schoolwork and also basketball in this too. So just, putting things ahead, getting a head start in things, and getting it done, and then I'm able to do basketball.
I asked Coach Schleifer about this one too, but I want to ask you as well as a player, which you haven't had this experience here at UCM yet, but maybe at Drury, because over Thanksgiving and Christmas break, you keep playing when students are gone. Does that make a big difference as a player?
As a player, I mean, this is my third year in basketball as a student athlete. So as a player, no. I mean, it gets a little tough because everybody is gone. But we still have work to do, and I still try to stay as focused as I possibly can to, still achieve and work hard for our team.
And how do you deal with that maybe outside of basketball? You're going to the dorms or on campus, and the campus is just kind of dead. How does that work out for you? How do you deal with that vibe?
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's sometimes not fun. You want to be with family around the holidays and stuff, but just having like a great team and great group of girls to really, go out and do stuff with, like have movie nights or whatever, it still works out.
And how important is that for maybe like team bonding, whether those are teammates or other people that just stick around? How much does that help you bond with a team, and are you looking forward to that maybe, especially with new players this season?
Yeah, it definitely gives us like stronger connections to go do that. Like it's outside of basketball, so we get to, have a little bit more fun and do other things that's not like getting in the gym or shooting and stuff like that. So it's definitely fun to be outside of basketball and just build stronger connections outside of that.
So one of my goals in every interview is to ask someone a question that they've maybe not been asked before in an interview. So one of mine is looking at the jerseys this season. Do you have like a favorite jersey that you get to wear, a favorite color?
I usually prefer black jerseys. I don't know. It's just something that I just like to wear black in general. So I like the black jerseys. I think they look nice, but I also do really like our red ones. I like the color.
And then looking at the Jerry M. Hughes Athletic Center, we're going to take that one out because that wouldn't be fair. Looking at other gyms you've played in, whether in high school and college, is there one that's been your favorite that's been like, wow, this is pretty cool?
I mean, the O'Reilly Center at Drury was just an awesome arena to play in. It's it's just really fun to play in.
So then looking out on the horizon maybe for yourself, what do you see being in the future, whether this season or beyond?
For me, it's just continue to grow, just grow as much as I possibly can, either that's in the post or out in the perimeter, and then just as a person, just continue to find strengths and keep them going.
And then looking at the team this season, what's maybe on the horizon for the Gens?
I'm ready. I'm excited to keep growing. I think we have a lot of growth to do, like Coach said, so just keep working in practice. We are going to get there. I know we're going to get there, and it's going to be super fun.
Well, Reese, congratulations on all of your success, and best of luck in your first season this year as a Gen. That's all of the time we have for this episode. I'd like to thank our guests, Coach Dave Schleifer and Reese Shaw, for joining me, and hope you'll tune in next time for Sports Page.